Hi guys, I just want to show you a simple way of taking the rear spring off, not the full assembly. I see a lot of guys on videos taking the full assembly off just to take the springs off, and I see them struggling with a piece of timber underneath it. I guarantee they're struggling, and then ratchet strap it and all the rest of it just to pull the spring out. You don't need to take the whole assembly off the bike just to get the spring off. All you need to do is loosen the bottom bolt, pull it out. It's that simple. But I'll show you how to do it if you want to change the color of the spring, paint the springs, or whatever you need to do. It's such a simple procedure. You just need to take the can off, undo the bolt, ratchet strap the spring up while it's on the bike, through the frame, all around the top of the assembly, and I'll show you how to do it. It's really easy. Cheers. Okay, here's what it looks like before I get started, and I'll run you through it. I have a front support stand. Some of you may not. You can strap it from the ceiling, but you need to keep the bike upright so it doesn't fall, because it won't be on a side stand and it won't be on a track stand. You need to put a jack and a block of timber across the bottom of the back of the engine to jack it up, just so the rear tyre is touching but not spinning. And the reason why is because you need to take the pressure off the rear bottom shock absorber assembly so you can pull that bolt out, and I'll show you right now. The bolt I'm talking about is this one here, and when you undo that, you want to be able to pull that straight out. So you jack it up just enough so the rear wheel, you can't spin it, but it's still just touching. The tools you'll need to undo that bolt I was talking about is what I'm using is a 14mm socket and a 14mm spanner. Ring or open, it doesn't matter, or you can have two 14mm spanners, but you'll definitely need one of these. Then you want to take the can off, the muffler, whatever you want to call it. You'll need a 6mm Allen key for here and a 12mm shifter, spanner, whatever you want to use for the back there, or a socket. And once you take that off, you have your 6mm in there and you undo that, and it'll come out quite easily. And to get the whole can off, there's another 10mm bolt just underneath the front of the can. You undo that and the whole thing will come off. So let's get started, and I'll show you how to take this spring off without taking the whole spring itself, the whole shock absorber off the bike. It's quite simple to replace the springs, to do whatever you want to and paint them, whatever fancies you. Let's get started. Now the 14. Okay, that was really simple. Cans off, the bolts out, you can see. Then pull the spring back, and it's got movement. You can do that. Pull it back, and then I'll show you how to set the ratchet strap up. Okay, so you need your shop rag, and you'll put it around the top of the shock and over the frame so you don't scratch it. Then grab your ratchet strap, hang it around the top of the shock, slide it down so it locks onto the final spring. And then do the same on the other side. Once you've got that locked into position and that's sitting over the top of the shock, then ratchet it. You've got it up just enough so you can pull that spring out. One more clip. That spring will come out once you get the rubber up. Sorry, another click. Okay, springs out at the bottom. Now undo the ratchet strap, undo the hooks, and the spring assembly just slides straight off. Simple. Do what you want, replace it, paint it, polish it, who cares? But it's that simple. You don't have to take the whole unit off. You can put the ratchet strap so it goes around the frame and through the gap at the back if it's a little bit more secure than my method, but that's so much easier than pulling the whole unit off, sitting on the bench with a block of timber underneath it, ratcheting. The whole thing could flick off, smack you in the face, do whatever, but this is the safest method. Then when you're finished doing what you want to do, slip the spring back on, slide the assembly unit back up, put the ratchet hooks back under where you want them, and the whole thing is reversed. Something I meant to mention was spring assembly is exactly the same way I showed you to take off in reverse. It's that simple. Thanks.